Now let's go to Cohutta, Georgia. Small town, about 700 or so people living in that town. Great for hiking, great waters for trout fishing. Apparently a bad place to be a police officer, though, because the entire force is gone, fired by the town's mayor, and it comes in the wake of a recent dispute between the mayor's wife and the police department. Sierra Rucker reports.
This all comes to personal vendetta from the mayor, and I wholeheartedly believe that.
Just last week, town attorney Brian Rayburn promised officers' jobs were safe.
My understanding is that a lot of the police officers heard through the grapevine that they were going to be terminated because of the letters that they wrote. I don't think them exercising their First Amendment right and filing complaints a valid reason to fire anybody.
However, just days later, Cohutta Mayor Ron Shinnick shut down the Cohutta Police Department and fired all employees, including the Chief of Police, Greg Fowler. I spoke with now former Chief Fowler, and he tells me he was notified the morning of and is currently working on clearing out the department and moving equipment. Sergeant Jeremy May also out of a job.
Official response from the town attorney: nobody's jobs are in jeopardy. Here we are less than a week later. Nobody has a job.
May was one of the officers who submitted a complaint against the mayor's wife, Pam Shinnick, who also was the former town clerk. This stems from what Mayor Shinnick is calling, quote, inappropriate comments posted to Facebook from officers. Once Shinnick was fired, officers shared concerns of the mayor's wife still having access to personal and classified information.
And we took a stand for transparency, and in result, every one of them's lost their jobs.
May tells me 10 workers will be impacted by the shutdown. And Mayor Shinnick says Whitfield County Sheriff's Office will take over operations in that area. However, response times to these calls are now a concern.
But the issue is going to be is response times. Can a department that's already limited to being the sheriff's office pick up an entire area that a full-time department was doing on top of what they were normally doing? That's going to be the safety and security of the citizens and the constituents of Cohutta is going to suffer in response because of the retaliation from the mayor.
Cohutta Mayor Shinnick did confirm the officers were fired. Look, a lot of unanswered questions here, clearly. A special meeting will be held tomorrow where hopefully we'll get some answers in all this. The town council wants to reinstate the police department and remove the mayor. Boy, there could be some fireworks at that meeting tomorrow. We'll have an update for you.